Hello, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Login.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon.
ચાલુ એટલે બધા જોઈન થાય છે.
Hello everyone, hope you're able to hear me. My name is Revant, I'm from Harvard Technologies, and a warm welcome to each and every one of you for taking time to join this workshop. Good to see a lot of you are introducing yourselves on the chat. I cannot mention everyone, but a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. So I see the set of audience are pretty diverse, and I think you guys are from various different places. Hi from Hyderabad. I'm connecting from Hyderabad, by the way. So if anyone is nearby, so yeah, we can't do anything about it. But yeah, so uh, my name is Revant, and I'm a R&D engineer, and I worked at a couple of MNCs. I used to work as a full stack software developer. And for your information, you are in a Python plus AI workshop. If you are at the wrong place, so just check where you are exactly. And yeah, so I think a lot of you are from various different schools. Yeah, great to see you all. I frankly, I don't even know the place names where you are from, but yeah. So let me get started. Hope you guys had lunch and not drowsy. And in this workshop, we will be talking about Python, and we'll be understanding why should we talk about Python. Because you would have heard a lot of times from various different places on something called artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And it is not something which is a rocket science, because it was there from the last 30 years in the industry. But what I would say is we made artificial intelligence even more hyped, because AI deals with scalability, more number of users, more amount of data, more number of problems. So you need more number of solutions, and artificial intelligence gives you that. And thanks to our generation, thanks to all the effort that was put in for the millennial generation, for like us, where we are experiencing each and every technology before even understanding what it is. We are at that stage. And I don't know what happened to Gen Z. Probably they may don't even prefer to go to school, maybe. It's going to be tough. So guys, don't worry about recording. I'm doing it. We will share it. Don't panic. I'll give you the recording. So just focus on whatever I'm talking. So in this particular workshop, I'll be first walking you through how to set up a proper uh, environment setup for Python, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning on your system. It would hardly take a few minutes, and then I'll teach you some basics of Python, how it works, various different things that you need to know, and then we will jump on to understanding what artificial intelligence is, and we already have few applications that were listed. I'll be showing you how to develop those applications. Okay, so you guys can stay unmuted if you don't have any background noise. So it's fine. You can ask your questions anytime on the chat box. Totally open for it. I think it is live on YouTube. If you guys are having any questions from the YouTube's live session, you can post your questions over there also. If there are a lot of questions coming in, I will answer selectively. So please don't mind. Yeah. So first of all, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So this is Amrita. I'm from Indore, and I just read a message that the participants must join the Telegraph group for the software links.
Not needed. For now, it's not needed. I'll give you the links directly on the chat box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, because my laptop was showing me a message that it's not getting downloaded. So.
Oh, okay. Not an issue. I'll share the links over here and I'll walk you through what all you need to do. Nothing to worry.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Just give me a second, guys. Just a sec. Yeah. Guys, I'm watching your YouTube comment feed as well. So people who are on the YouTube live session, I can answer your questions. Yeah, I'm seeing it now. Yes. Don't worry about the Telegram link. I will share the entire content on the Zoom chat and also on the YouTube. So nothing to worry. So the screen that you are currently seeing is Anaconda Navigator. Before you get scared, Anaconda is basically a integrated development environment to run Python. Anyone worked on Anaconda before? Like, anyone used it before? Ever heard about this?
No,
Yes, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
no, sir.
All right, all right. A few knows are enough. Yeah, you can respond on the chat. All right, yeah.
Yes, I know it.
Okay. Yeah.
Little bit I teach in class 11, 12, so that only.
Okay. Yeah. Great. So, guys, first of all, you need to make your system ready. Those who are all using machines, so you can follow this procedure. Those who are not having machines at this moment, no need to worry. Just try to understand the steps. You can, anyway, you will be given the recording, so you could do that later. Nothing to worry. So first of all, let me show you how to do the Anaconda setup. And Anaconda is an IDE. So first, let us understand what an IDE is. Integrated Development Environment.
Yes.
Okay. So an integrated development environment is a software on which you could write and develop applications using a particular programming language. For example, if you want to build an Android application or any application using Java, you use your Eclipse. Similarly, for Python, and moreover, Python is totally open source. We have Anaconda Navigator, which is specifically developed to build data science applications, projects on data analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning, right? So you don't need to install Python separately. You just need to install Anaconda directly, and that would give you everything. Okay, so what it does is it will create a separate section, keeping in layman terms, it will just create a separate section in your computer where Python is alive. It just creates that environment for you. Oh, guys, mute, please. Mute. Srikant. Yeah. Okay. First of all, just browse for Anaconda Navigator. Just go to your Google search and just browse for it. I'll give you a direct link to download it, so no need to worry.
It's something like that for 64-bit and it will be a separate or.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you which ones to download.
So we have to do the practicals. We have to do it practically. Just
Yeah, if you have system available with you, you can do it in practicals. Yeah, if you don't have an access, it is fine. You don't need to panic. You will anyway get the recording, so you could try that later.
okay.
Yeah, because I'm not going to tell everything in theory, so it's going to be totally practical. So yeah.
Yes.
So anaconda.com/protect/individual, that is the link. The link is available on the Zoom chat just now, and also on the YouTube stream as well. So this is the individual edition for Anaconda. Basically, few software tools you will have two different versions. Personal edition and commercial edition. So personal editions are mostly free. I mean, you can use them totally for free. But when it comes to the commercial editions, commercial edition in the sense, let's say you want to build a software which is going to be for a commercial purpose. You're going to sell it to someone. In those cases, the features are very high, and also you can get more benefits on that particular type of platform. So we will be going with the individual edition of Python. Sorry, individual edition of Anaconda. So you can see here, there is one, whenever you go to this link that I sent you, you could see one button over here, download. Just click on that button, download. It is not compulsory for you to have Anaconda. I don't say that it is compulsory, but the way that I explain, and the projects that you're going to build are going to be on Anaconda. And using Anaconda is a best practice. You can have Python installed on your machine. That is fine. You can build the projects, but it is a very hectic process. Doing working on AI and all using only Python is kind of little tough. With Anaconda, it is super easy. That's why I would prefer you to use it. And also, if at all you want to build any project on your own, you don't do it on just Python directly. You need to have more number of features and more number of things to do. And Python Anaconda eases the task actually. So that's why I would recommend you to go with it. So once you click on the download button, you would see a screen like this. Okay. Here, based on the kind of system that you're using, I assume most of you will be on Windows. Even I am on Windows. Just click on the 60. Based on your computer's processor, you need to choose whether it should be 64 or 32. I'll explain how to choose it, where to check it. So now I'm talking about those people who are on Windows. Okay. Now the confusion is which one to choose, 64 or 32. So for those who are not aware of which type of operating system is yours, I'll show you how to find it out. Okay. So first of all, just open my computer on your system. Just go to my computer or this PC, whatever. You would see something like this, yeah, with your local disks and all. Guys, if you have any kind of question, please post it. I'm already seeing the chat. So once you go to this PC, you'll be able to find, just right click anywhere and click on properties. See, I'm on this PC, my computer. Just right click right click anywhere, click on properties. Then you will be able to, once you click on properties, then it will display which kind of system is yours. Here you can see what system this is. And here it is mentioned that it is a 64-bit operating system. It could be different for you. For you, it could be 64 or 3220. So now I identified that mine is a 64-bit operating system. And now I'm going to click on the 64-bit version. Okay. So come back to your download page. This is your download page, and click on 64-bit, yours is 64. If not, click on 32. That is how you decide. Repeating the steps, go to this PC and right click anywhere on the empty space, click on properties, then it would show you which kind of operating system is yours. Guys who are not talking, please go on mute, please. I'm hearing some background noise. Yeah. Yeah.
So excuse me.
Yeah, sure.
I just wanted to ask, is the screen is not very clearly visible to me, sir. Is it for everyone, or am I having any problem?
I think it is visible because on the YouTube
It's visible.
it's visible.
You need to enlarge the visible area of what is getting presented. I think it might have
Yeah,
been
you could
mixed up.
zoom it, I guess.
You can pin the video and see, then the visibility will be clear.
Okay.
Sagar Datta on YouTube is asking, what if I download 32-bit on a 64-bit system? You won't be able to install it. It will throw an error.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a question I got.
While selecting the installation time, what shall we choose? Just me or all users require admin privileges?
Yeah, I'll come to that. I'll just come to that. Could anyone share their screen where you downloaded already? Because I already installed it. Could anyone volunteer?
I can do that, but
Yeah, I'll give you the access. I'll give you the access. Just a second. I'll come to you. Guys, yeah, anyone can. Yeah, just a sec. Just give me a second.
I have been able to download it. Now it has opened up a website.
Yeah, just ignore that
Downloaded it and
website.
it's the same which is in your on your screen.
Yes, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fine. It will just ask you to download or buy the premium version and all, but you don't need to do that. No need to worry about it. You can just
be closed.
Yeah, you can just close it. Yeah, you could close the window. Not an issue.
Sir, in advanced option, what I need to select? Register Anaconda 3 as my default?
I'll come to that. Guys, I'll show you how to install it. I'm yet to go there. Yeah, just give me a sec. Yeah. Could anyone share your screen? Like, could anyone volunteer so that I can show you the next steps? Yeah, Vidhi ma'am, yeah.
Yeah.
I gave you the access. Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, just ma'am, let's wait for a minute. I think people are downloading it. Guys, whatever you're doing, just stop it. Just look at the screen now. Just look at the screen. Okay. So I'm telling you the steps. Once you download this, the steps are pretty straightforward. You don't need to do hard work here. It is pretty straightforward. If you observe on the screen, you can find there is a .exe file that is downloaded. .exe is executable file that you need to install. Ma'am, just click on that file.
I've already done that.
Yeah, I'll just show you the complete steps.
Shall I start acceptors?
Ma'am, go to downloads. I think you already, it may take some time. That's okay. It may take some time.
It's already downloaded.
Yeah, that's okay. Just give me a sec. Could you share your entire screen? Like, I think you're sharing only the downloads one, your Chrome screen. Share the entire screen. Unshare your screen
I
once.
shared the entire screen.
The screen needs to be maximized.
Yeah.
The window is not maximized.
Ma'am, your window has to be maximized. Right, top right, yes.
Okay. Ma'am, just a second. I'll come back.
That must
I'll
have
come
got
back.
closed
I
or
think
something.
I think she's sharing only a single screen. That is not enough.
So what am I supposed to do at this step?
Yeah, I'll show you. So I hope you guys are able to see my screen now. So I downloaded the 64-bit version currently. Mine is 64-bit. So just click on the downloaded file. Just click on the downloaded file. So once you do that, you will be able to see something like this. It will open this setup file, something like this. Guys, these steps are pretty straightforward. Listen carefully. This step is important. Listen carefully. So you don't need to do anything. Just next, and just if it is asking you for the agreement, just click on I agree and select. You don't need to change anything actually. You can go with the default options that are already available. Next, and finish. That's it. Next, finish and install. The installation may take some time. Just bear with it. The installation would take up to a maximum of 30 minutes. Anyway, we are going to meanwhile we'll be learning Python. The installation will be running in the background. So you don't need to change anything. You don't need to change any URL or something. Next, finish and install. That's it. Okay. So
Sir, may I please?
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Sir, at the end, at the time of installation, there are two different checkboxes. One is already checked, and another one that add Anaconda 3 to my path environment variable. So, are we supposed
Not
to
needed.
select?
No, not needed. Go proceed with it. Whatever is default, just proceed with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, anyone is stuck, you can post your question. I am now checking the chat box. Yeah.
My installation is through. So do you want me to show the screen once?
Yeah, you could. You could share your screen. Yeah, you have the access now.
But the moment it got over, it opened up this website.
Yes, tell me.
This one and this one. Installation success. So am I supposed to do anything in there?
No, you can close that window.
Right.
No, yeah.
And otherwise, I have.
You can close the browser windows. That's fine. Yeah.
Can you see this?
Yes. Yeah, that is cool.
Excuse me, sir. May I ask one question? So while installing, it is asking for just me or all users. So which option I need?
Just me. No need to change anything. Yeah.
Afternoon. I'm Ampli. Actually, I have a little issue because of that I joined now.
Okay.
Could you please help me out? Just quickly, what is the link for downloading that, and then I just proceed.
Yes. I am sending you the link for the. Ma'am, just ignore the download for now because it may take you a lot of time to catch up again.
Fine.
Nothing to worry. Anyway, I'll give you the recording for this. We will continue with understanding what AI is and few things about Python.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing to worry.
Yeah. Please send me the link.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Sorry, sir, to disturb you. It is asking me for signing something for
No,
to
no,
register.
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just close that window. It's okay. Yeah. So guys, for those, once you install Anaconda, you need to understand the environment first, like what the software is, what all things, what is the potential for, potential of things that you can do with this particular environment. So once your installation is totally done, it may take a lot of time. Sometimes you may see that green colored progress bar would be stuck for a while, but just ignore it. That's totally fine. So once the installation is done, now I'm going to show you to verify whether your installation is successful or not. Okay, just follow these steps. It may take some time for you to come to this step, but once you are at it, once you think that installation is done, you need to do two-step verification. Step number one is go to start and type. Just go to start. Type Anaconda. You would find here, you would find two different options. One is Anaconda Navigator and the other one is Anaconda Prompt. Okay. So Anaconda Navigator is the software that we installed. Anaconda Prompt is a place where you can write commands. Okay, you have command prompt on your machines where you can write written commands and ask your computer to do a particular task. So as I told you, we basically created an IDE. So here in this IDE, I have a software where I can write the code, and also Anaconda Prompt is a place where you can write a few commands and ask your Python to do this or do that. So you need to have both. If you are able to see these two, it means the Anaconda is successfully installed on your machine, and your machine is now ready to work for you to create any kind of data science project or an artificial intelligence project. Okay, that is what we did as of now. 2 minutes for doubts. I'm checking the chat box. If you have any doubts, you can just ping over here, and even on the YouTube channel as well.
Can you please repeat once what?
Yeah.
Anaconda prompt. Yeah.
Yes. Let's just check. I'm checking for the.
Mr. Rivant, can I volunteer for this?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Or I think there is some issue with the screen share. Let me just check. Okay. Let me show it again. I think screen sharing is causing some delay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm repeating the steps, guys. For those who are who want to check the Anaconda's installation, just go to start. Just click on your start button and check and just type Anaconda. You will be able to see two things. One is the Anaconda Navigator and the other one is Anaconda Prompt. All right. Yep.
PowerShell, sorry, sir.
Yeah.
This PowerShell prompt is also there, and Anaconda prompt is also there.
Yeah, if you have Anaconda Prompt, that is fine. Yeah. PowerShell, that's okay. Whether it is present or not, that's fine.
What is Anaconda prompt for?
So Anaconda Prompt is like a command prompt for you. It is a window where you can write few commands. Let's say going further, you may need to install few things which are needed for your AI systems. There are few software or few libraries that you need to download. So all those downloads can be done using Anaconda prompt. That is one purpose of it. So, or if I want to run any script, I can do it via Anaconda prompt. But if I want to write the code, I would be using Anaconda Navigator. That is the difference. Downloads, running scripts is done on Anaconda prompt. Writing code, executing the code, and seeing my outputs, that is done on Anaconda Navigator. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. Now, guys, let me first talk about the basics of artificial intelligence and also try to understand why AI, how to do it. I don't want to directly jump onto the Python basics, because if I start with the Python basics, that doesn't make any sense. But if I talk about Python with AI, that would make more sense to you. So I would just go in that manner. Yeah. I think few of you are asking for the YouTube streaming link. I'm giving that to you. Just a second. Yeah, thank you. So I want any one of you to just volunteer and tell me, enlighten me on what do you know about AI. Anyone. You can unmute yourself and talk. Just make sure you don't have a background noise, or you can respond on the chat as well. And I also want you, just a second, sir. I just also want you guys on the YouTube or even on the Zoom to just tell me when was the first time you heard about AI and what you did about it. Like, what is your relationship with AI before? Yes, please continue.
So, may I tell what I know about AI? The definition.
Yeah. Whatever you know about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So AI is basically a program which will use the human, which can mimic human intelligence.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's correct. So some more answers. Actually, there are a lot of answers for this. Yeah,
Sir,
please volunteer. Yeah, proceed.
Nice. Good afternoon, sir. Hello.
Yes, you can talk. Yeah.
Sir, it is the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. Is that so?
Okay. Yeah, that's correct. Anyone?
Is an intelligence that is demonstrated by machine, human intelligence.
Yeah, that's right. Mimicking the human intelligence. Yes, that's correct.
The example of AI what we have seen was the movie of Rajnikant, a very famous movie, Robot, in which the artificial intelligence was used properly. Then it was a very good robot. But when it was used in not in a proper way, it started destroying. So that is how it's used mainly in robotics, artificial intelligence, inculcating intelligence in the machines and making them work as humans.
Yeah, right. I just want to add
simple example could be face reading or the eye reading. All this is a part of AI. When we have a mobile phone, it reads your face and it can unlock itself. That is a part of AI.
Right. Yeah.
In short, we can say building a smart machine that acts like a human or that uses the human intelligence.
I think one very important feature is learning through experience. A device was never capable of learning through experience, but a man does. But AI probably will also do this, or maybe it is doing this.
Yes. Yeah. Actually,
AI is a technology where the machines are made to think like human beings.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It uses NPL.
What is it, ma'am? What is it? NP?
NP, no, sir.
NLP. Yeah.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll come to that. Yeah.
Use
Good.
this natural language processing.
Natural language, yeah.
Natural language, NLP stands for.
Yeah. So first, let me come to the basic understanding on. Actually, your answers are totally correct. So I'll tell it in my way of how I look at AI, and what I would say is making sand intelligent. That's what I would say. Making sand intelligent is not sand. I mean sand, literally sand, is AI for you. The reason why I use the word sand is because the electronics that we are using, if you look at the evolution that happened from late 1960s or 70s, the devices came. Initially, they were just a few tools for us to make our life pretty easy. We came to a position where from using tools which make our lives easy by doing some tasks which we can do and few tasks we cannot do, to a place where those machines could replace us in a very significant in few significant roles. And I also want to show you a few metrics on the purpose of learning AI. If you observe in the current scenario, on an average, will you agree if I say that you spend nearly 1.5 GB of browsing data minimum? I'm just talking about mobile data. If you're on Wi-Fi, it could be 10 GB also per day. So I easily use more than 10 GB. I join a lot of calls. I browse a lot. I'm active on social media a lot. I'm a social media freak. So I utilize a lot of information. I watch a lot of movies as well. So if you realize one thing, you guys are, each and every one of you, are creating some terabytes of information per month. A lot of information about you. If you just interact with a smartphone for one day, that phone knows a lot about you than your parents, siblings, and your girlfriend and boyfriend or boyfriend. Yeah. So that is the kind of information that we are giving out. That is number one. This information is like a lot about you. So who needs this information? Who wants to give you something? Let us say you're a person who loves pizzas a lot. There is Domino's who want to sell pizzas, make money, make some billions of dollars as revenues. So there is a lot of information out there. We came from a position where the mobile phones are just used for calling and messaging to a place where you can literally do everything that you do on a high-end computer just on your mobile phone, thanks to the processing power first. The processing power that your mobile phones have, that your laptops have, or desktops have. And that processing power came from the electronic chips, silicon, germanium, so the sand. So if you make the sand even more intelligent to collect your information and use that information to make your experience even more better. Why the social media is very engaging? Because there is AI in it. Each and every application that you are using currently, I'm naming them. Google Maps, deep learning AI. YouTube is having AI. Gmail is having AI. Even your phone unlock system is having AI. Each and every application currently, every business currently should adapt AI. If not, they can't survive. That is the position where we are in currently. If you are starting a business, in order to scale your business, think from both the perspectives. If you are a business and let's say you launched an application, a simple mobile application, where you sell groceries, let's say. If you are not in a position to cater your application, or if you're not in a position to deliver your goods or understand your users on a huge scale, you cannot make huge money. If you're not making huge money, you cannot survive in the market. So that is the kind of urgency. And now AI is compulsory, it is not an option anymore. Before 5 years it was optional, but now it is not. And artificial intelligence, now coming to the specifics of it, how it works, and obviously there is a lot of, you may ask, sir, which created the requirement for it? What created the requirement for AI, first of all? Because if there is no requirement, there is no business. There is no business, there is no research. If there is no research, there is no need of colleges or the courses. If the courses are not needed, we don't even give some bow to it, right? Not even a 1/10 of bow to it. So the requirement came from the usability. We as users, whenever I visit Amazon, I just want to see products which are relevant to me. I don't want to see a rice bag, right? I don't want to see something which is totally irrelevant for me. I want to see relevant information. To make my experience more relevant on the platforms, it could be an e-commerce platform, it could be a OTT platform, your media platform, it could be YouTube, Prime Video, Netflix, or whatever it is. If something is not interesting on your screen, then the attention goes away. Would you use YouTube if you're seeing some Spanish videos on your timeline? Not at all. You don't use the application at all, first of all. So to make and keep people engaging, see, I'm just talking about one particular domain of AI, that is consumer applications. There are a lot, as one of our participants is mentioning, about robots, about you can even use it in healthcare. I'm just confining that to consumer applications because there is a lot of scope for it, and a lot of scandals happened just because of AI. The previous United States election, a lot of things happened, like huge companies and huge political parties actually mass manipulated people to vote for a particular party, right? Cambridge Analytica scandal. If you're not aware of it, please, can anyone just ping that name onto the chat box? Cambridge Analytica, just look at the scandal. It started in, I think it happened around 2013 or 2014, which changed the complete face of a country. It was one of the biggest democratic countries. Data is behind it. AI is behind it. So making machines more intelligent is pretty important because we cannot do few stuff manually. And I mentioned one thing, that we are generating some terabytes of information. So to make stuff relevant to a particular person, you need to understand this whole information. You need to draw insights for this information. Let me give you one example. A very basic example of a YouTube recommendation system. I'm also going to show you that application on how it works. A simple YouTube recommendation system. Let's say you logged in with your Gmail account. The Google knows your age. They know where you're from. Your GPS is enabled. And they know what you watched previously. They know the watch history. They know your age. They know where you're from. They literally know everything about you. So there is one more person who is of your age, 21 years old, from Hyderabad, male, and they are watching. Lot of people who belong to that criteria or to that subset of people watched. What was any latest Hindi movie? Okay, any latest Hindi movie? They watched the trailer a lot. So then your YouTube understands that, okay, these people, Avengers, okay, Avengers or Tenet. I wanted to watch, but the movies are not open yet. So a lot of my age group people actually watch that video, and there is a lot of probability that I could watch it. Then I'll be recommended with the same video over here. So in this example, in this simple example, there are few steps. Number one, first of all, YouTube needs to understand, it needs to take my data, right? So my data and the group of people that I was talking about, YouTube needs to understand their information as well. What is their age? Where are they from? What they watched? Whether they watched the video completely or not? Whether they skipped it or just closed it in the middle? There are various different patterns, and the technology is pretty much developed on web from a, in terms of web technologies where everything can be tracked. Okay, so first of all, you need to have data with you. That is number one. Once you have the data, and one thing to mention here, one thing to mention here is data is actually of two types, if you're not aware of it. There is two types of information. I mean, the information which is online, offline, on your computers, I mean. Structured information and unstructured information. I'll give you an example. Let us say you have your, you took a video of your class. There was one birthday party. You took a video of your class, and a very, very good video, 5-minute video, totally fine. And you shown me that video. I'm not from your school. You showed me that video and asked me to tell who's Abhishek in it. Would I be able to? Absolutely not. I don't even know who the hell Abhishek is, right? And in the second scenario, you gave me an Excel sheet. You have a very beautiful table of information where Abhishek is from this place, he's studying this is his grade, these are the subjects he took, and everything is mentioned over there. Then if you ask me who Abhishek is by showing that table, I can tell everything about him, right? So your data is of these two different types. So one is unstructured. Unstructured means you cannot draw any insights from it. And structured. Unstructured examples, your video is unstructured. Images are unstructured. There is no particular data in it. The data is not specific. If you take the examples of structured information, you have an Excel sheet. You have CSV. CSV is kind of semi-structured. CSV is one format of your Excel. And yeah, this is structured. And even a database is kind of structured, right? So the data is of two different types. And you know what? Some of you are talking about, face recognition, image recognition, and all that. The name itself indicates that image recognition, you recognize what is there in the image. At least you define that image in text. So once you're in a position to convert an image into a text which describes that image, means you basically converted an unstructured format of information into a structured format of information. You must be able to describe that image. Now even your facial recognition is a very classic example for your conversion of an unstructured information. My face is totally unstructured, and they are structuring it based on taking the ratios of the distances between various different parts on my face, right? So that is how it is, your structured and unstructured information is. And if you are wondering what big data is, most of the tasks that you do on big data, using big data or data analytics or data science, most of them they basically work on, most of the task for you will be just converting unstructured information into structured information. There is a name for it actually, which is called pre-processing. Okay, pre-processing. There's just a minute. So pre-processing is one step where you convert information which is pretty clumsy, which is not understandable, readable, and then you convert that information into something which is a processed information. And obviously, after the second step that you have here, you will get information which is pretty understandable, even with a human naked human eye. Okay, so now once the information is processed and given, the next step that you have here is something called third step, that is training. Training for whom? Every AI system before training is just like a 3-year-old kid sitting in a kindergarten school's class. He don't know anything. He literally don't know anything. He just know how to cry, how to pee, how to eat. That's it. Then you have the information in a form of a small, that fancy textbook, and the textbook is pretty organized. Just imagine your textbooks are pretty scrambled with the pages. The pages are pretty scrambled. Will you be even able to complete that subject? I mean, will you be able to understand anything? No, that is your unstructured information. So when it comes to training, when I'm able to train a particular person or a machine or a software, I need to have information pretty organized. So once the information, so this is the place where you get that organized information. And once you do training, I'll talk about this training later. Training is, or you can also call it as teaching, or for the one who's getting taught, for him it is learning. Okay, depends on the perspective. And then you create something called, so once you train a person, at the end of your semester, what do you get? If at all you read the subject properly, you will get some clarity. That's what everyone wish for. So just you get an idea on what was taught, and the summary of whatever you learned will be stored in your brain, right? So we have the one fancy name to it, which is called a model. You model stuff. Okay, you get an outline of whatever has happened, and you basically use this model on what you learned. Model is nothing but the information that you learned and the insights that you got. Okay, so once you have that idea on what you learned exactly, then you will be in a position to go and sit in the examination. And what do you do in the examination? You predict stuff. A, B, C, or D. Okay, B. That is how you predict, and we do the predictions here. Questions are nothing but the answers that you write in your examinations are mostly predictions, isn't it? Right? So now, and you know what? This process, this complete process is nothing but machine learning. These are the steps that are involved in machine learning. Okay. And the complete implementation of this, I mean, how to read the data, how to pre-process the data, how to train your system. We'll come to that. What is training? What is a system? You would never have saw that in real. I'll show you in real. And what is a model and how do you do the predictions? And don't you think your weather forecasting works like this? Isn't it similar to your weather forecasting? You take the data that happened previously in the previous days, you observe the seasons, how they are basically working around you, and then you understand the information. You draw a summary of, okay, this is how it's going to be. You look at the current cloud movement and everything, then you do the prediction. That is machine learning for you. So machine learning is basically a process. See, artificial intelligence is a characteristic. That is a feature. That is a property of a particular entity. And if I'm talking about this this mobile phone, I would say that, okay, this is artificially intelligent. That is a characteristic. But how it became intelligent, the process of making it intelligent is machine learning. And coming to deep learning is just another type of machine learning, which deals with lots and lots of information. Okay, that is the only difference. AI is a feature, characteristic of a particular machine device. You can call it as it could be a machine. By machine, I mean it's not it may not be a machine which you can look and feel. Sometimes it could be a software. That's it. Your YouTube is a software, and your YouTube's complete system itself is a machine, right? You can call YouTube as a machine. So that is machine learning for you. And deep learning deals with, if you have huge amount of data, if you have huge combinations or probabilities of prediction, then it becomes deep learning. Then you need to employ deep learning to make the system even more efficient. That's how it works. All right. So you can post your questions. I will answer. Use your chat box to post your questions. Even I'm having a look at your YouTube feed. Just give me a minute, guys. I'll just answer your questions. Yeah, there is a question here by Janvi Dave. Yeah, I hope the pronunciation is correct. Apologize if that is not. What is deep learning? Deep learning is a type of machine learning. See, there are only two things actually. Your AI, to make a system artificial intelligent, you need to perform machine learning. But if the data that you're using is pretty huge, like, for example, you get these traffic updates on Google, right? The red colored lines, green colored lines and all. So just imagine how much data Google need to collect from your GPS system, and it basically needs to identify with what speed you're going on a particular road. There is a lot of information over there. If the information is at that level, then you need to do the learning in a very intense manner. You can just say, like, machine learning is like a syllabus of is a way of learning when the syllabus is of 10th grade. But deep learning deals with a syllabus of which is at the PhD level. Just the complexity increases. So I'll dig deeper. I'm not mentioning any technical terms right now, but Yeah, more data, then it becomes deep learning. More number of combinations or outcomes. See, sometimes the outcomes could be a lot. So just imagine if I want to show on each and every road what is the traffic status at a particular point, just imagine how many number of roads you have in India, right? So I need to predict the outcomes at each and every point. So that is huge amount of information. In those cases, those kind of cases, I will be using deep learning. Does AI uses data and store the data for further use? Yes, it does. AI is all about data. It uses the data, it stores and not only just stores the information and uses it, but it also cleans the information. Like we just take information which is useful, we just truncate a lot of information which is unstructured or which is not really needed. Does AI require coding? Absolutely. Yes, AI does require coding, and just to mention, you would have heard that AI will take away a lot of jobs, but in order to build the AI systems, you again need to provide jobs. You need to employ people. So the complete transformation is happening in to a point where if you see, even I think there are a few engineering students over here. A lot of job roles now are data scientist roles and data analytics roles. You may not see a machine learning engineer or something, but these data analytics and ultimately contribute to, they work on machine learning projects. So the employment opportunities are opening in that segment where it is taking away jobs which are easily replaceable by a machine. Just imagine how many jobs got replaced or uh, how many jobs got redundant when online banking came into picture. So yeah, it does require a lot of coding and a lot of time, human intervention in order to build the AI systems. Yes. So yeah, I'm taking questions from the YouTube channel. I think I already talked about the difference between machine and deep learning. Yeah. So yeah, just give me a sec. So I'm going to show you one pretty basic project on machine learning, and this is going to be our first project. Shall we take a break for a while, for like 5-10 minutes and come back? Yeah.
Sure, sir.
Let's break for 5 minutes and get back, guys. Meanwhile, I think you guys already installed Anaconda. Now we are going to jump onto a project where you're going to build one machine learning system. I'm going to show how to evaluate it and how to work on it. Come back after 5 minutes. Be back at 3:25.
Okay. Thank you. It looks like all intelligent peoples under one roof.
Sir, by the time others are joining, can I quickly share my screen and show you is it installed or not?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. You can do that. Yeah. Those who are having issues, you can just let me know. I'll just address them for a while. Ma'am, you could share your screen.
Yeah. Hi.
Are you able to? Yeah.
This is how it looks like.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's working.
Okay.
That's cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys, let's get back. So I'm going to show you a sample problem on how you're going to implement machine learning, and we will be able to see how to take an unorganized information and then apply machine learning on the top of it and do a prediction. Okay, so the first step ever is please be on mute for a while. Don't unmute yourself. I'll give time for you to post questions. Just please stay on mute. Yeah. So I'm going to take some information, and I will be using that information to talk about machine learning. And the information that I'm talking about is for flowers, and I'm sure you would know this flowers. I'm doing a basic classification here. Guys, I'll give you my entire coordinates. Don't worry. Like, I'll give you all my details. If you have any questions, you can definitely reach out to me. Have you ever heard about this iris?
No, sir.
Flowers, your datura flowers, one kind of datura flowers. These.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So we are going to talk about these flowers today, and this example, you can draw analogy with various different kinds of classification. Okay, let us say out of okay, I think few of you are asking about how is this useful for science teachers. Okay, I'm just talking about one biology, something related to some science application only. Probably after this explanation, you would realize what all things that you can do with science. So especially in science and research, you can use AI and data science to in your thesis. Let's say we're doing some thesis or trying to find out any gene patterns as such, it would be pretty helpful for you. And yeah, I'll talk about the applications eventually. So first, let us go with implementation. I'll talk about applications in physics, geology, biology, mathematics, and all. I have a few examples with me. Yeah. So the application that we are doing here is to analyze the data of these flowers, and then if I have shown some random flower, or if I just give some information about a flower which is pretty random, I must be able to find out to which species this flower would belong to. I'm repeating the problem statement. So I want to develop an artificial intelligence system in which, given a random details of a flower, I must be able to tell, or my computer or my machine, which we are going to make it intelligent, of course. Once that is intelligent, it will be in a position to tell us to which species does this random flower belong to. Okay. So basically in Iris, let us first come back and understand about these flowers first. Okay. In Iris, these are of the primary types of Iris: Iris virginica, Iris versicolor, and Iris setosa. Okay. And these are basically classified based on the lengths and widths of sepals and petals. Okay. I'm giving you one link where you have the complete analysis of these flowers, and there is one thing called dataset. Remember this term called dataset. Dataset is the collection of information using which you're going to train your software or your machine. As I told you, without textbooks, your kids can't learn. Without dataset, your machines can't learn. The first and foremost step that you need to do is to collect the dataset. And you know what? There are some companies which do some $1 billion of business, and their primary task is just to collect information. That's it. They just collect information. Why Google and Facebook are huge companies? Just because they have a lot of data. Data is gold now. Who have lots and lots of information with them? They are the leaders in the business currently. And even if you want to do any research, and I'm sure a few of you teachers would have completed some at one point in your career, would have researched about something. Don't you collect information over there? You take insights. Based on the insights, you analyze the information and you do stuff. So this is the data set that I am using. And coming to the machine learning thing, data sets are of, sometimes you can buy data sets from few companies. A lot of people actually sell data sets, or you can make your own data set and you can sell to other people. And you may have an open source data set. Open source means someone would upload it somewhere. You could just utilize it for your own purpose without paying any money. These are open source data sets. The one that you're seeing is an open source data set. Okay, you may ask me, what is the data set that YouTube is using? That is nothing but the data that you create when you watch YouTube. So you're the creator of that data set. So instead, YouTube should pay you back for you helping them to create data. So it means for using Facebook, you should get paid. That is how it works. And these kind of business models are called freemium business models. It's not premium, it is freemium. So you go use it, you get addicted to it, and you use it continuously and generate a lot of information. Using that information, they are going to make some $1 billion of money. That is how it works. And that is why each and every platform that you're currently using on your mobile phone is totally for free. No one asks you to pay anything because you're their product. You're not using their product, you're their product. Okay. So now I'm going to show you one data set with which we are going to generate a lot of insights about these flowers. We'll come to that. Any questions so far? You can keep on posting your questions, not a problem. Yeah. All right. So the data set that we are going here is actually, I'm giving you this data set. We'll send a link here. This data set is basically in the form of CSV file, kind of organized. See, I sent you one link on the YouTube channel as well. Shiva Prasad Chavan from YouTube. What is the difference between data science and data structure? So data structure is basically the way you represent your information. You know, if you take data structures, like there is object representation, there is array way of, you use arrays to represent your information. Data science pretty much talks about how to analyze the information, probability. There is a lot of statistics associated with it in data science. Finding mean, mode, median, all those mathematics stuff is basically involved, and various different algorithms using which you analyze the information. And ultimately, the goal of each and every data science application is to draw insights from data which is pretty unorganized or unstructured. So data science talks about it. Data structure just talks about what is the format of the data, so that in which format the data should be, so that your information will be represented in a very comprehensive way. Okay. So yeah, guys, the link is already there. Above is the link.
It has a lot of code or numbers as we open.
Yeah. It is just raw information, just numbers. That's it. Okay. So we are going to take those numbers and we are going to make more sense out of these numbers. So this is guys, this is how your data set looks like.
Can you please describe difference between Anaconda and Google Colab?
Oh, okay. Anaconda is a software where you can write Python code, and it is totally dedicated, and you can install that on your machine. Google Colab is an online cloud environment. So Google Colab is made so that people could collab online and also run the code directly using browser. So when you run the code, you obviously need to have a software behind it, right? That software will be installed on Google Cloud. It will be running on the server, but Anaconda runs on your own machine. You can call it
which one would be better option, like?
It depends on the requirement, actually. If at all you want to have a dedicated, if you want to build a dedicated application using just a second, on artificial intelligence, then you will go with Anaconda. But if it is for some evaluation, or if you want to build smaller applications, then you can go with Google Colab. But in real time, in real world, if at all you want to build and deploy an application, you would go with Anaconda. That is most preferred than Google Colab.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Guys who are on YouTube, the link is already there. I just sent the link. I sent it, I think, thrice. Just a second.
What are we going to do with this data set that is being?
So we are going to take this data, teach our machine, and we are going to do the prediction. So this is the data where it then this information is basically stored on the servers of this particular URL. So it is here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to pull this information using Python and how to make an intelligent system which could help me to predict if I gave any random dimensions of any flower, it would predict, okay, this flower belongs to this category. That is how I'm going to teach my system. Okay, so step number 1, open your Anaconda, come to the Anaconda navigator here, and you will be able to see something called spider.
Do we need to launch that?
Yeah, just click on launch, everyone.
Sir, can you please repeat again?
So here you would find something called spider.
We are not able to see spider there. Different CMD prompt is there, data role is there, IBM Watson is there.
Then in that case, probably your installation, you will be able to see on the home page itself. Just make sure you click on home on the left, and then you will find spider here.
You got it, sorry.
Yeah.
It's written new spider can use kite to provide better. So shall I dismiss as
dismiss it, yeah. So once you launch it, you may see something like this. Probably you may see it in dark mode. I'm on light mode. So I'm just seeing information like this, but this is something similar. Just open spider. So let me explain what the spider is. Spider is the place where you're going to write the Python code. This is the place where you're going to write the code and make the code work. Okay. People on YouTube, I think I'm trying to share the link.
What's the difference between Spider and Jupyter Notebook, sir?
Both are the same, sir. In Jupyter, you can execute the code in granular form. I mean, the purpose of both is the same. These are all editors, the ones that you are seeing. These are all various different editor. Editor means the place where you write the code. You can use Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter Lab, Spider, or VS Code, any of these. So on Jupyter, actually, you can execute the code in a very granular fashion. You can test the code bits by bits, but that is kind of little confusing. Spider is more simpler to use, and even VS Code is also good. This is from VS Code is from Microsoft, so I would recommend Spider to a lot of you because it's pretty easy to work on it.
Sir?
Yeah.
There is one spider updates. Shall I click on that checkbox
Dismiss.
there?
Dismiss.
Check
Dismiss
for
it.
updates. Okay.
No, no.
How do you actually put it on
Then
the light mode?
Light mode, I'm not sure. I think it will be in the
So I
view
have
somewhere.
a 3.8 Python, Spider 3.8, Python 3.8. It's visible.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Spider Python 3.8.
Yeah, ma'am. That's fine. Yeah, that's correct. That is the latest one.
So it's written Spider Python 3.8.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct. Yeah. You're on. That is correct. No need to worry about it.
So you are not audible.
Yes, am I audible?
Sir, install kite, learn more or dismiss? Dismiss?
Dismiss. Yeah.
Okay. On the left hand side, it is like spider editor. This is a temporary script file.
Which one?
On the left hand side panel, one small window is there, spider editor.
Leave it. Leave it. You don't need to worry about that. So once you open Spider, you guys would be able to see this, and you may see something like this, right? Created on. So these are all. This is not needed. You can just select everything and delete it. And now I'm going to show you how to take Python, how to get the information. So what we are going to do now is we are going to take this data set. Guys, don't worry about the dataset YouTube channel. Don't worry about it. I'll give you later. We don't need it now. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to share it on the YouTube chat box, but somehow you're not getting that link. I already pasted it some 20 times maybe, but you're not able to get it. Probably some technical issue. But currently you don't need that. We'll just work on writing the code now. So first of all, guys, listen carefully. Now we are in the coding section. So go on mute, please. Yeah. I'll give you access to unmute yourself later. This is going to be a one-to-many session from now. Yeah. First of all, we need to load the information that is there in the dataset. So I'm going to show you steps in Python. So number one, load the dataset. So how are we going to load this dataset is, this is just a small assignment operator. Okay. Dolly ma'am, just wait for a while. I think it will take some time to open it. Yeah, it would take some time for Spider to open. It depends on your system's performance. So if your system is kind of having little RAM, then it may take some time to load it. Yeah. So first of all, just like the way you write a simple mathematical statement, for example, a equal to 10, a small mathematical statement like this, or a simple operation or something, then what does this mean? Basically, can I say that I'm just giving a some value which is 10? That is how you write variables here. So two things to observe here. The left hand side one is called a variable or a parameter, and the right hand side one is a value. It carries a value, and this equal symbol is called as an assignment operator. Okay. Equals is called an assignment operator. On the right hand side, I have a value. On the left hand side, I have a variable. All right. Now, in a similar fashion, actually, we are not going to deal with this a equal to 10, but in a similar fashion, I'm going to load the data. So I write, in this case, as per my application, I need to get the data from a particular website, correct? And I have that website's link. So data is equal to, in quotations, I gave you that URL. So I'm sending that URL once again. The URL is already on the chat box. So on that URL, just copy that URL and paste it inside these quotations like this. Got it? You know, what does this mean? We are basically guys, I'm pinging the link on the Telegram's chat. Those who are on Telegram, you would be able to see it. Just give me a sec. The link is on the Telegram group, everyone. Thank you, Akshay, for putting it over there. Now I'm active on Telegram also. You can ask questions here. Yeah, great. So, you know, what happened here is I'm just assigning this huge information. Actually, in Python, you can do that. You can assign an integer, a word, an array, or a string, whatever it is. So on the right hand side, I'll be having the data or the address of the data, where the data is. On the left hand side, actually, you can use any variable here. I'm using the word data. Instead of that, you can use, that was for explanation. That's it. A is equal to 10. We are not going to deal with it. Yeah. So that is data. And now in the next one, just a sec. Yeah. So there is one step called labeling. You need to label the information. As I told you, if you even look at the information that we have here, you don't know what this 5.1 is, what this 3.5 is. We don't know anything about it. So first of all, we need to label this information and tell, okay, these are the parameters which are, we need to assign parameters to these values in a bulk. And if you observe, you will be having around 150 different values of 150 different flowers. You may ask me, why should I take this much information? So let's say you went to a fruit shop and you wanted to buy apples. How do you find that there is an apple out there? It is not because, is it not just because you know how an apple looks like, but it is also because a laptop don't look like an apple. Correct? So if you have information about more number of apples, more number of species of apples, then let us say if someone comes to you bringing a random apple, and if he asks you, what is this? Then you would respond, okay, this apple, this belongs to this particular species, which is from Shimla, and this is the price of it, and this is where it is coming from. You will be aware of it only if you analyze and understand lots and lots of information about various different types of apples. And how do you differentiate between an apple and an orange? Because you know how it looks like all these years. You ate, you experienced, you looked at, and someone told you about, okay, this is how an apple looks like. Even your teacher told you when you were learning your alphabets. So all that learning happened. Given the data, you have a precise information on, okay, this is how an apple looks like. And even if I shown you something which is in green, and if it is something which matches with the features of an apple, you would say that, okay, that could be a green apple, right? So if you have more information about each and every species of flower over here, it means given any number, any different dimension, because these flowers are pretty unique, isn't it? The sepal and petal ends basically change. They're not the same for each and every flower that we have. So now I'm going to label this information, and I'm going to read this information from the website. Of course, we are pulling this information from our website. So now I'm going to show you how to read the information. So first of all, I'm going to create one variable called names is equal to a small array. I'm creating an array here. Any idea what an array is? An array is just like a list, a small list which carries similar kind of information. Yeah, a collection of data. So I'm just creating an array with different names here. I'll tell you the purpose of an array over here. So the first one here is sepal length. So inside the quotations, just create an array like this. I'm just putting the code here. An array which consists of a set of strings, sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and class. Okay, these are the labels of the information that I have. And this matches with the number of columns that my data is having. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Try to write the code on your own. I'm not going to give you the code just right away. Try to write the code on your own so that at least you may get some practice on working with the syntaxes. Okay, so show what I think it is already here, no? The screen is already shared. Yeah. So guys, listen carefully. Yeah, it is class. CLAS is class. Yeah. So listen carefully, everyone. So here, as I told you in the first, when we were discussing about the block diagram of machine learning, you need to take the data and then you need to pre-process the data. Okay. Now my data is in a CSV format. All right. Guys, don't worry about the code. I'll give you all at once. I'll keep on executing it. Whenever we are about to execute, I'll give you the code. Okay. There is a lot to add here. I'll come to that. So the format of data that I have here is CSV, and it is unorganized. Now I need to organize. So I'm now going to show you how to convert a CSV into something called data frame. Ever heard about this name, data frame? Data frame is one kind of data structure in Python. Okay. If you are not aware of data frame at all, I would strongly recommend you guys to learn what data frame is. And there is one library in Python called Pandas, P-A-N-D-A-S, Pandas. The name is pretty fancy and cute. And even the library is not, but it is easy to work on. But so CSV to data frame, these kind of data frame conversion operations are basically done using Python, using Pandas. Okay. So now this CSV over here with these labels will be converted into an organized format of information. I told you that the initial step is to convert an unstructured information to structured information. CSV, I don't say that CSV is totally unstructured, but it is semi-structured. Like it is having information in a sequence, but it is not completely structured. So now to convert that into a structured format, you need to now I'm going to take one new variable here, which is called a dataset. So this is the dataset variable that I have. And now I'm going to use one function called read CSV. This is a function. This is an inbuilt function of Pandas, CSV comma separated values. That is CSV. Read CSV is a function, an inbuilt function that is from your Pandas, and to this function you need to send the data that you want to organize. And where is my data here? It is in the variable called data, that is first, and then let me do one thing. Instead of names, I'm using the word labels here to make more sense. And names, and here I'll tell you the syntax of it, don't worry. Data comma names is equal to okay. You know what we are doing here? This is a guys, this is a syntax that you need to remember. Read underscore CSV pandas. This is a default syntax where the first value or the parameter that you pass is the data that you want to convert, and then names is it is a syntax. Okay, it is not a variable. It is included in the syntax of this function, where the column names, you will be giving it as an array. That is why I created this array. So I am passing a CSV file and array inside this function. And you know what will happen once you print this data, once you print this information, right? Print data set. Now we'll see how this data set is going to look like. Okay, let us see if there are any errors and we will fix the errors. All right. Okay, see, I'm running the program and I'm going to show you how to run it. Yeah, you will definitely get a lot of errors and we are going to fix the errors together. Okay, don't panic. It's okay. I know there are errors. So number one, I'm first of all, save this code somewhere. Go to file, click on save as, save it on your desktop, anywhere is fine. I'm saving it on my, okay, I'm saving it in any folder. Any folder is fine, not a problem. Once you save it, run it. And let us fix these errors one by one. What is it saying? You may see the same errors that I'm getting. I'm sending this code on the chat box. Have a look at it. We need to do few imports of pandas and everything. So we'll do that now. People on YouTube, I gave you the code of, I think I can't send the complete code. I'm sending it on the Telegram group. So have a look at it. So the first one is the name read CSV is not defined. So the reason why we are seeing this is because we didn't import the module read CSV. So first of all, we need to import it. And to import read CSV, you need to import pandas first, because this functionality basically belongs to the library pandas. So in the start of the program, I'm first importing pandas, and then from pandas, you need to import, and this is how you import libraries from modules. What is a module here? Pandas is the module and read CSV is the library. Or you can also say you're loading a library over here. Now try to run it again, and this is how you see the information on the console on the right hand side. So basically what happened was the CSV formatted file is basically converted into a data frame. Okay, and data frame, you can play around with the data frame in Python. There are a lot of functions using which you can using which you can take the data from a data frame and do various different things. We are going to see that anyway. So the learning that you need to have is working on data frames using using pandas in Python. Okay. So Rajesh sir, we are actually importing, we just did few things over here. Number one is we tried to get the data from this particular URL and we assigned it to a small variable. Okay, so this is a basic variable assignment, just like just like the way we do in any programming language. This is not specific to Python. Okay, the only difference is that whenever you do a variable declaration, you need to have a data type declaration like integer or string or anything. But in Python, you don't need to do that. So in line number 4, we did the same. And after that, I declared an array. This is a simple array declaration. It's not even complex. And then I called a function, which is an inbuilt function, read underscore CSV. That is an inbuilt function, not a user-defined function. And to make this function work, I need to import a library called read CSV that I did in line number 2. To import that library, I need to import a module called Pandas that I did in line number 1. And finally, I made a data frame and I'm printing it at the end. Okay. Yeah, you need to do the import at the beginning itself. The program structure should be the same as the way that I am using. Yeah. If you don't put it at the beginning, what happens is if you write this line, read CSV won't be detected. So once you do it, because your program execution comes from the beginning, right? So line number 1 to line number 7. So if you do it later, it won't be able to identify read underscore CSV. And as an output, everyone must be able to see that we read this information like this. This is the information that where am I pulling this information from? I am pulling this information from a website's URL. Okay, that's what I'm doing here. What is error, ma'am? If you are getting any error messages, please put this in the chat box. Documentation. I mean, you need any reference for it? The Pandas reference. I'll give one reference. I have one. Just a sec. To run this program, you would find a play button on the top. You would find a play button on the top. So just click on that here. And before that, you need to save the program. Just save it and run it. Mithun, this is a syntax, Mithun. So whatever the column names, if you observe, these are nothing but the column names. Names is equal to is a syntax of read underscore CSV function. So the first variable that you pass should be the data, and then the column name should be given like this, and the data type of label should be an array. Instead of labels, you can use any other variable also. Got it? So now I have the data frame with me. Now we are going to look at some data analytics related functions, few of them, and try to understand the data structures here. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes of time, buffer time. Just try to execute it. Let me know the errors. Yes, Amrita, you need to, not the function names actually, they are the names of the libraries, not the functions. Read underscore CSV is a library. And the read underscore CSV is the only library that we used as of now. We have a lot coming in. Vidhi ma'am, just click on file. There is an option called file on the top left. Click on that and then click save as. Janvi ma'am, that is not an error. That is a warning. You can ignore it. Yeah, dataset is a variable. Instead of dataset, you can use any other word. Use your name also. That's fine. It is just a small variable. That's it. Labels not defined. No, that is a syntax error, guys. YouTube people. Yes, you can. You can do it on Jupyter Notebook, Yashwant. Vishal, it must be a syntax error. Yeah. All right. So we are now able to look at the data frame the one that we created over here. Yes, Python is case sensitive. How to run? I already shown now. There is a play button on the top, green colored play button. You just need to click on it. There is an option also, run, on the top. Load dataset is a comment. Sanjit SG. It is a comment. That's it. If you want to write comments, you need to use hash at the start. Hash is used to write the comments. Sarabjit, not only just that, you converted that CSV into a data frame format. Now the format is different. Python cannot read information from, when the information in CSV is in CSV. If you want to do any different operation using Python's functions or whatever it is, then you need to convert that into a data type which is understandable by Python. And data frame is one data type which is understandable by Python. So that is what we did. We organized it and put it in a data frame. Okay. Guys, I see few of you are having some syntax errors. I'm sending the code again. Please fix the errors, okay? YouTube people, the code is on the Telegram group. Please check it from it. Okay, so there are a few functions of pandas that you may be interested to know. So I'm printing the data set here. Now I'm going to delete this. I want to do a few operations on it. There are a few functions which will help you to understand the data that we got. So to find the size of the data, you can use something called dataset shape. Dot shape is a keyword which will give you the size of the data that you're using. And here it shows 150,5. That is the size of the data here. All right. So dataset.shape will give you the size of it. And if you want to look at limited information from the dataset, you can actually use a function called dot head, which will give you, see, I wrote dot head dot 20 of 20, which will just show the first 20 values in the entire dataset. So you can basically limit the amount of information that you want to show over here. That is one. And there is one more function, which is the major function over here. Nothing but dataset.describe. These are all functions of pandas. Okay. And once you run describe, you will be able to see various different calculations over here for each and every category. How many items are there? What is the mean value? What is the standard deviation, minimum value, and maximum value, minima and maxima. So all those calculations will be done in a single shot using dot describe. These are just a few ways of understanding or evaluating the information from. All right. And now we are going to work on, now the data is available with me. What is the next step? Once the data's pre-processing is done, then only we can go with, once the data processing is done, only then you can go with the training part. Okay. So whenever you perform training, you basically need to split the information into two different parts. Whenever you basically perform the training on any kind of data set. Okay. So this is where we are going to use one different file over here. There is one library called scikit-learn. Okay. So let me show you that. I am sending you one URL. Everyone, please go to this website, scikit-learn.org.stable. Okay. So scikit-learn is one machine learning module. Okay. Where you will get various different functions for, you can see here, for data analysis, machine learning, and all. We are going to import this library here, and then we are going to do something called splitting the data set. Okay, this is the first step in the pre-processing. We already got the information in a data frame format, so our information is already there. So next, the next step that we are going to do here is split out validation dataset. So what is this validation dataset first of all, and why should we even split it? That is a question. Okay. So your dataset, basically, whenever you perform training, okay. So first of all, what is training here? What is training? How do you train yourself? First of all, don't you think training is just a combination of multiple if conditions? For example, this information, this 150 rows of information is the only clue that I have to find out which flower belongs to what species. This is the only clue that I have. So I need to, whenever you feed this information to an algorithm, which is nothing but a algorithm which trains itself, it takes the data and it understands, how it works. It understands, okay, if the sepal length is 5.1 and the sepal width is 3.5, 1.4 and 0.2, it belongs to iris setosa. That is the data you have. Now, the first thing that your classification algorithms, actually there are multiple algorithms that we are going to use. Each and every algorithm has its own way of understanding the information based on the statistics. So normally, for example, I'll give you a simple example. Let us say I want you to predict the type of fruit based on weight. For example, I took a random fruit and I gave it to you. The weight of that is 80 grams. Weight of that fruit is 80 grams. And now you already have a prerequisite information that the average weight of a pineapple is 80 grams, let's say. The average weight of apple is 60 grams. The average weight of papaya is 120 grams. Then if I gave you this fruit and I just asked you to predict to which species does this fruit belong to, then what do? What is the closest value or the closest species that this random fruit belong to? It is 80 grams. So whichever is near to it, the mean value of all the weights that you have, we just do a rough comparison. Okay, this is according to the weight parameter or this feature. This could most probably a pineapple. That is how you take a decision. Even your algorithms work like the same, where once you feed this information, they perform something called classification. So based on the data that you give, they perform classification, and this data set will be divided into two different parts. One is called training data set, and the other one is called validation data set. For example, what is validation here? Validation means what? Testing. I test it. So testing a machine learning algorithm is just like you taught a student, you taught him physics, you taught him like for 20 days. For 20 days, you had continuous lectures on physics to a kid, to an 8th standard kid. To evaluate the performance, what do you do again? You take some questions from the same content that you taught, you take a few questions from it, and you pose those questions. And depending on the accuracy in the answers that guy gives, you evaluate the efficiency of that person or that kid. isn't it? I have this huge textbook. From that textbook, I taught this entire textbook to a guy for 20 days. Now I want to evaluate that guy. So I will take at least 2 or 3 pages from that textbook as questions and ask this person to evaluate how efficient this guy is or how well this guy learned stuff. Similarly, in a data set, you basically divide this data set into 2 parts. Number 1 is your training information, the actual lesson, and the rest of it are exams or question papers, you can say. Here that is called as a validation data set. Now, to divide this into these 2 different parts, you have a function which is called train, test, and split. Okay, so that is a function that we are going to use to split out the validation data set. I'm going to give you one other link over here. So this is that function train, test, split. Okay. So this is the syntax of it, and we need to get it from sklearn.modal selection. So first of all, we need to import sklearn over here. I'm going to do that now. Yeah, thanks for sharing the link. So now listen carefully. We are going to import those libraries which are needed for us to analyze this. Yeah, I'm showing you the same. Import sklearn, line number 3. And then from sklearn, look at this. These 2 are the lines that we added right now. Import sklearn, and from sklearn modal selection, import train, test, split. Amrita ma'am, it is on the screen. Vikas Iyer, yeah, that output is correct, man. Yeah, because it won't be able to display the entire information. Your console won't be sufficient. So it displays information like a preview. Girish, yes, you can implement this code in normal Python also, but it will be tough for you to install each and every library. You can use pip, pip. You may ask me what is the alternative of Anaconda. Like, let's say I don't want to use Anaconda. I want to use something which is basic. Then you can go with pip. You need to install each and every module. That is going to be a very hectic task. With Anaconda, it is straightforward. And one more thing that I want to mention, guys, here, everyone, Please listen here. You can write the code later. If you open Anaconda Navigator, you can find something called, on the left, you can find something called environments. Okay. So you can basically create multiple environments over here. And just a second. So these environments, each and every environment in Anaconda will have pre-installed libraries. So this is not the benefit that normal Python is going to give. Yes, Mohit, you can use VS Code also, but you just need to make sure that VS Code is installed separately. Okay, and you can open VS Code directly from here. There is a launch option here. See, actually VS Code is more easy to use, and one disadvantage with Spider is that Spider crashes a lot. That is one disadvantage. So environments is the one where you can see if you scroll down, all the default libraries will be pre-installed in this. Okay, that is the benefit of using Anaconda. And installing a new library is also pretty easy. Joel, yes, you can even do that using I don't think in C language you can do that. There are a lot of steps that will be involved in C, if at all you want to implement it. Yeah. Yes, I'm using a GitHub URL here because the dataset is over there. Khalid, to create an environment, see in the bottom there is an option here directly. Create a plus icon in the bottom. From here you can create an environment. Okay. So moving on. Splitting out the dataset, I imported train, test, and split over here. And now I'm going to do some array manipulations. First of all, I'm going to, from this data set, this is the data set I have, I'm going to pull information from this data set. Okay. And the information that I want to, how to pull information from a data set is, I could just say something like this: array is equal to dataset dot values. And if at all you want to check what will be the output of it, you can write a print statement and display arrays over here. So this is line number 13 is the way with which you can evaluate the values here. Yes, Amrita ma'am, it is used for writing comments. And now if you see, I now have an array. Array means what? Array is the organized way of data. Why is it organized? Because arrays are indexed. Your information is now indexed. All right. So write that. So now array is the variable in which I have the entire information pulled out. Can anyone tell me the meaning of this? So this is one way of extracting the values from this particular array. I'm going to extract few values here and I'm naming that as X. Okay, so look at here. This way of writing an array, the value of X, in order to pull out the first 4 values, you just need to write a colon and then you need to say that the index is 0 to 4. The column indexes must be stored in a variable called X. Basically, what I'm trying to do is, listen carefully, I'm going to split this information into 2 parts. This is part 1, which is just values, and part 2, which is just labels. We are just doing all the mathematical operations here, isn't it? So how it helps you is, in order to solve complex mathematical problems, you would definitely use, let's say you have, you want to analyze the data of some 1 billion customers, and if you want to draw a pattern of, if you want to draw some pattern and identify the probability of the sales in the coming next few years, in those kind of problem statements, you can bring in the complete information using a CSV file and then read the information like this, convert that into an array, and finally describe using just a describe function. You can find mean, mode, maxima, minima values. That is how you apply the training for AI into mathematics and science. So mostly Python is used to simplify your complex mathematical and physical problems, problems which are in physics. If you want to solve, there is one library called Skype. We are going to use it. I'll show you, which will help you to draw the patterns, understand the data, and analyze the information. So these functions are whatever we are doing are pretty helpful for you to do those kind of to solve those kind of problems in real time. All right, so that is how I split the array over here, and then I'm creating one more variable here, which will see. I took the values, then now I need to take the variables here, sorry, the labels over here. This is how you split the labels. I'm taking one value called y. So this is how I am basically splitting the information over here. Execute this and print X and Y. Guys, I am sending you one feedback link on the chat box. So what is teaching learning process? Could you please elaborate your question, Kavita ma'am and Dolly ma'am? You can unmute yourself. Just a second, I'll give you the access. Yeah, you can unmute yourself. Guys, you can post your questions, and I'm also sending you one link, your attendance link actually. So please try to fill it. The link is just pasted on the chat box. I gave it to you multiple times, so you can just have a look at it. Yes, ma'am, you
Yeah,
can post your question.
yeah. Yeah, I wanted to know actually how it will be helpful in the school teaching process. Like we all are teachers over here. What you're teaching is basically a computer language.
Yeah.
So,
So
how will it be
yeah.
implemented in the school? Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
wanted to know.
So we are going to, if you observe, there is one thing which is kind of pending over here. That is how this algorithm basically works. We are yet to go there. So if you observe the data that we are taking here, there are a lot of statistical processes that are involved over here. And in the tomorrow's session, we are also going to discuss about how you're going to teach the statistical problems that are involved in the machine learning, because each and every line that we are writing over here is built on those algorithms. So I'm going to show you how those algorithms are basically made. Okay, so today we are dedicated this session to the basics of Python and all. So we'll also be touching upon how this machine learning processes will work at algorithm level. Yeah.
Sir, you're just typing the functions. What if we don't know all those functions and all?
Yeah, that comes from the documentation. So that is the catch over here in Python. These functions, that is the main advantage of high-level programming language, right? These functions, they have direct
That's
usage.
true, but before you start, we should be aware of what are those.
That's why the documentation is available, right? That is why we are going on an application basis. So we are going to cover both application and basics in a single shot. And this is a pretty basic program, and we are also looking at the outputs on how these functions basically work, purposes of these functions. That's why I had to share the documentations of the functions here.
Sir, can you help me? I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to use this in my class. Like, where do I use it?
So these are used to teach the kids on how to implement your machine learning systems? The implementation, from the implementation perspective.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Thing is that when we were talking, you said something like a library which could be used for physics. Am I right? You said somewhere like
Yes,
that.
yes, yeah. Skype
Yeah.
it is. SCIPY.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, in the coming class or somewhere else, could you please add one example with in that Skype? Is it?
Yeah. Even it is involved in the application itself. Even in this application, we are going to use some Skype-related functions. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which kind of? Do you have any project that you're working on with Python, or is it?
Nothing, sir. I'm just.
Okay, you're just
So that
wondering how
if
to.
I happen to be a physics teacher as well, so if you give something like that, so I can't I can work on it. That's what I thought.
Okay. All right.
And also, sir, somewhere we went. I think it is this. What is that? SK Kita, something like this. Sky Kita.
Yeah, Scikit. Yeah.
Skykit. Okay, there we saw some graph regression clustering.
Those are the algorithms of the basic algorithms of machine learning on how the classification is basically done. Okay, so I'll be explaining those algorithms in theory.
So for example, if you have a set of data like this one we are having, a data set, and can we use any table or a module to assort our data into clustering or regression, stuff like that?
Yeah, that's what it does. So in those libraries, you will be having direct functions which could basically help you to classify the information. Here, for example, they follow a few algorithms in the background. All those complex calculations you don't need to write in Python. You just need to apply that function.
Yes.
So and when the purpose of that is why only those functions? As someone was asking, what would we get if we are directly using that function? So that basically increases the efficiency of the code. That increases the performance.
Okay, sir. On the same note, see, we are using this. We are using built-in function. Just I learned little bit computer science also. So if we create classes and objects for this, it becomes more hectic, right? Or I don't know. I'm just classes and objects, data structure.
Okay.
So is it any way we can use classes and objects? Just
yeah. You can use it. Yeah,
it depends upon the event, right?
Requirement. Yes.
Requirement.
You're right. Yeah. It depends on the requirement. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So it will be nice if you add something from that physics, like as in the coming thing, it will be more.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
The session is very informative, sir. But being a school teacher, we are teaching from 8th standard to the 10th standard. And from 11th to 12th, we are already having the Python as well as we are using the same software. But actually what happens is I was just thinking how it would be implemented to the children. Because like I am from the computer background, so I'm able to understand what are variables and what is programming. But what happens is here, like import pandas. Now, what is that import? What is pandas? Their library. So, like basic knowledge of all these things when it is given to the students. So, a basic primary explanation of all this, I think, was is necessary. And like, how would we start it for all those children? Because now there is news that this artificial intelligence would be included by CBSE for all the standards. So how can it be implemented? Suddenly, I felt that this level is a little bit higher for them.
Oh, yeah. Got it. Yeah. Yes. I totally agree that this program that you are looking is kind of higher level, but the whole idea for showing this is to give you a bigger picture on how a machine learning system is going to get implemented. So what I'll do something tomorrow. I think a lot of you are not having a basic knowledge. I'll give you one roadmap on how to get started here. There are a few resources with me, so I'll just give you some guidance on how to start with the basics, like what are these keywords, how to implement a print statement, And that is the reason even in the start of the workshop, I dedicated the time just to set up the environment, because even that is needed for sure.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
I will dedicate some like 20 to 30 minutes on the basics of Python, and mostly on the roadmap of where you need to learn, how you need to teach, even the basics of programming. Forget about Python, the basics of programming. Like I'll give you an example. See, for example, there is a function here. This one, line number 8. I just wrote some brackets and put some content in it. So these are called function argument. There is some terminology associated with it. So all those basics I will try to cover it. So what all we implemented, I will pull out all the basic concepts that are used here, and we will discuss the same. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I think that would be more helpful because we are writing programs in HTML. We are teaching basic also, basic language we are teaching. But suddenly learning Python is totally new for us, sir.
Actually, learning Python is easier than learning any other language. Because the reason why Python became pretty famous is because the amount of code that you write is pretty less compared to the other languages. So that is one, and there is something called declarations and all are not that needed here. So yeah, I'll touch upon the basics. Nothing to worry. Thanks for bringing that up. I would understand.
Sir, please, as you are going to discuss about the basic terminology for the Python, as well as please, sir, please explain the window, what we are having, where is the editor and what are the what is the console, right? Where we are getting the output and all that. Please,
okay.
That also please tell
Okay,
someone
let me
to explain us so
yeah,
we can understand. And one more thing from this coding, I'm not getting output from. I think so. I'll tell you. Yes, coding number 9 from 9.
From 9.
Shape.
Okay.
From that, I'm not getting any output in my console.
Okay. Could you share your screen meanwhile?
Yes, sure.
Padmaja ma'am, you can just follow the same procedure that we did from the start, like setting up Anaconda on the individual machines in your schools.
Sir, I have shared my screen.
Okay, just a second. Just give me a sec. Ma'am, click on run. That play button, green colored one. Yeah. Yeah, it's coming. Your output is correct. Scroll down, scroll to the bottom. That is your console actually. On the right hand side, what you're seeing, that is your console. On the left hand side, that is your code. People on, guys, can you post the link over here? Anyone? People on YouTube, I'm giving you a link for the attendance. So please try to fill it up.
Yeah, Mr. Revant, I have a question. Can I ask
Sure,
you?
sir. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. The session, I am from a computer science background and I'm able to understand what all you are teaching. It's really very nice and I appreciate the efforts from your side. And thank you for that. I have a few of my friends who joined this program. They are the teachers from science, physics, mathematics background. We were told that this program is going to be helpful for them in their regular delivery. Is it so? Is it so? Because what I'm able to understand from this 2-3 hours session is that this is going to help us as a computer science faculty. It is going to help me in delivering the new topics which are going to be incorporated because of changes in the CBSE syllabus. So that is going to help us as a computer faculty. But really, is it going to support or help to physics, chemistry, biology, and mathematics teachers? Because we were told that they can also join. That's the reason many of the teachers in the group, they are posting that how is it helpful to us. So can you please just clarify, is it really helpful to them also or only particular to computer science faculty?
Yeah, two things here. One is one way you can leverage this knowledge is by if at all you're doing any research work or writing any papers, and if you are into publishing papers and all, that is one. This is one. The Python basics and implementation would be helpful. That is one. Number two, if at all you want to move to a different domain, like if you want to teach AI in your school, because one thing that we observed was there is kind of upskilling that is needed. So for the existing teachers who are already there, so that is one way you can leverage it. And third is complete career switch, where you could have some computer science basics, and probably you could teach programming exclusively, because in the current market, I think I no need to mention the kind of demand that Python and AI are currently having. So that is one area you could explore.
Yeah, thank you so much.
These
But
three are
but as of
the aspects you can leverage.
thank you, very clear for me. But as of now, like those because I'm getting few calls from my friends whom I suggested them to join this session.
Okay.
I think they are regular physics teachers, they are regular mathematics teachers, and